everyone, good morning. I'm creating this video specifically for volatility 75 index for those who need to understand what is going on in the market. I'm going to show you briefly the overall trend, how volatility 75 index have reacted to price over the years, and then what to expect in this coming trade move on volatility 75 index. This pair is actually a very profitable pair. It's highly profitable. It's in fact the lowest lot sizes on this pair can make you a lot of money. And the good thing about this pair is that once price begins to move, either for a buy movement or for a sell movement, it gets uninterrupted. The price really moves. That price is really moving. You have little less pullbacks, and you have ranges and consolidations only at a minimal rate. So that's why it's very profitable. And then it's actually an old pair. Volatility 75 index was part of the first pairs that derivative synthetic indices started with. So without beating around the bush, it's going to be a short video. I'm going to show you what price has been doing and then what to expect in the next coming days or week on volatility 75 index. Okay, as you can see clearly, price over the years has been in an overall bullish trend. As a matter of fact, this was the first initial trend. This was the first trend that we had drawn. I'm going to show you the various setups that have happened. Some have been broken and some are yet to be met, or one is yet to be met. But all other setups have been broken, and then that's for the bullish momentum, and then one is yet to be met. So with the last one that I'm going to show you in the course of this video, you will know exactly what volatility 75 is doing and how to make the most of it this coming days. Okay, as you can see here, I remember in my last video I told you how a bullish momentum looks like. Yes, a bullish trend looks like, combination of higher highs and higher lows. And then clearly that on the weekly time frame, this is higher low, higher highs, and higher lows. Why? Because it's going up. Price has responded to it here, responded here. So you can see higher highs and higher lows. All right, so it's clear that our first confirmation is bullish. The market is bullish. It's clear. This is the overall weekly time frame. It's not H1 time frame. It's not 1 hour time frame. It's weekly time frame. It gives the overall market direction. So as you can see, when price was falling, our first expecting area for the buy to begin was at the touch of this trend. Please follow me well. And then price did actually touch the trend and then began to buy. And in fact, many of us thought the buy had actually started. You can't blame anyone, but quite many of us made a lot of money from this. I made a few thousands of dollars from that little buy alone. Let's go to daily time frame so we can see it clearly. So you can see price fell when it touched from the upper resistance, fell to our supposed trend line, and then when it fell the first time from here, it started buying, and then it bought to this area, came down again and created a double bottom, and then pushed upward. And so I took the buy. In fact, I gave the buy signal in the group, and a lot of people actually made money from it. I took the buy, and then I made some thousands of dollars from this particular buy before it started falling again. Now, before I show you this, let me also show you how the touch of the trend line had reacted over time. Since we're talking about the history of prices on Volatility 75 index. So around May 2019 till August 2019, Volatility 75 index came into a new trend. It came into a new upper trend. That means it broke the previous trend, because of course there's a trend here. But the trend here was broken and price pushed upward only to create a new trend. So it created a new trend, and then from here price has been responding to the trend line, going up, responding to the trend line. Before this, you can see here that even here price, there's a trend here. I hope you know this is a trend. It's parallel, and I told you how to know your trend. You want to see parallel, so it's parallel, so it's a trend. So this is a supposed resistance before price actually broke it. To show you, I'm showing you this because I want you to understand the strength of volatility 75 bullish momentum, because the overall market direction is bullish. So I'm just showing you how price has been breaking upper trends and creating new higher trends, and not breaking lower trends and creating new lower trends. So we can see clearly over time that volatility 75 index keeps breaking resistance and pushing upward to create new higher trends until it eventually came here to its all-time high and then fell and touched the lower trend that it first respected in 2019. Can you see? So when price broke the minor trend that is supposedly here, let me draw it so you'll see clearly. When price broke the minor trend that was supposedly here, I made a lot of money to around this period, I and my friend. And then when we saw that price actually broke through, we're like, wow, the bullish strength of volatility 75 index is high. The Amelie high is here. So, and why is he high? Because volatility 75 index occupies and carries 75% of market volatility. So the total market of real world market volatility, so the total real world market prices volatility would show on volatility 75 index. So except there's an entire world market crash, then 75% liquidity of real world prices will crash, and so there will be massive sales alone. Look for instance volatility 100 index. Currently volatility 100 index is bullish, highly bullish. Why? Because it occupies 100% market volatility of the real world market prices. So volatility 100 index will only become overall bearish and sell massively, like V200, 1S and all those pair. When it only becomes bearish when there is a great decline of real world market prices. So we know fully well that V100, V75, because it carries high percentage of the total market prices, we know fully well that price is supposed to be going up. So it's supposed to gain bullish strength per time. And so that's why I always look out for the bulls to come in when price touches the trend. Because people keep asking me, what is my obsession with volatility 75 index, especially when price gets to the support, to the major support, the major trend? What is my obsession? And I usually tell them that my obsession is that I do not want to miss it, and I do not want you all to miss it. Because it has happened for me over the years that price will touch this particular place. I've made money from here, I've made money from here, I've made money from here, I've made money from here over the years, because the overall market direction is bullish. So I do not expect anything less, because this is price history. Price history is price action. So I do not expect anything less when price gets to the overall trend line. I do not expect anything less when price gets to the areas where we are looking to buy. So you understand why this is bullish now. I've established that fact. Price got to the all-time high, came down, retested, and touched the trend line, and then fell and touched this point. In fact, if you had $25, $10, and you entered a sniper from here on 0.001 lot size, you will hold this trade till this point, and at this point, I'm telling you, your profit is already on about $750 to, let's say, $850 on just one position on the lowest lot. And as you can see, the bull momentum was high. So this would have happened in at least 2 weeks. So you'd have made $10 to $850 in 2 weeks. That is my obsession with high volatile pairs like this when it touches the bullish zone. You can see it happened here, it happened here, it happened here, even these areas where it's a zone, and then it came up and then fell back down, and as you can see, it touched it again and it went up. I mean, this is free, this is common sense, this is logic. You know, price action is a combination of common sense and logic. Like, you have seen price history repeat itself over time. You do not need any special indicator to tell you exactly what it's going to do. I mean, you have seen it happen before. And then price went up and then came back exactly to where it touched before and bought. Came back and then pushed upward even higher than this. Like, why would you miss it? It's just common sense and logic. Price action. And Volatility 75 index is so simple. Like, the pair is so easy, so simple to trade, especially when it's on major areas. And so it's pushed upward. I mean, if you also did the same thing with the lowest lot size here, if this one could give you $850, I'm telling you, this one would have given you about $1,200. No kidding. If not more. What am I saying? The gap between 800 here and 1,200, if not more, because I took this trade on 0.01 and I had from here to here, I had about $6,000 on one position. 0.01, $6,000. One single entry. I mean, if you had $50 or even $30, if you are taking this thing on a sniper, you would have enjoyed it. One of my students, I keep talking about it. In fact, the screenshots are in the groups, are in the channels. You can check it out. My reviews don't lie. I don't make things up. He took the same trade. This was around November, December. He took the same trade and took his account from $38 to $6,000. He opened 0.05 multiple positions. Strategic with sniper, because trades like this will give you sniper. They are sniper moves because it has reached its overall support, overall trend. And if you understand the concept of Volatility 75 index being a bullish drive, a bullish market, you will know that price is going to buy no matter what. So he risked it all. So let me just risk this amount, this $30 I'm willing to lose. And then he risked it all and then took the account from $30 to $6,000. He sent me the screenshot. In fact, I was wowed. And then price touched the resistance as it did here. And then it fell greatly to this area around July this year. July. And then what happened? Let me zoom closer so you can see. Price began to respond and react to the trend line. And so for a few 2 days, it bought, came down, bought again, another few, maybe a week, came down, then eventually bought, and then came down. With this, I already knew that price is likely to break this thing. Price has very high chance, because when price begins to respond to a particular zone for long, there are high chances it's going to break it. It's just like when you continually use a hammer to hit a wall. You continually use an axe to cut a tree continually. Eventually the tree will fall. Eventually you cut the tree. You use a hammer to continually hit the wall. Eventually the wall will break, and then you can break through. So I knew it was going to fall, and then as you can see, price did that. It came, broke it, responded to the trend line, this particular same trend line that we're talking about, and kept falling. So with all these responses of trend line, you can see that this trend line is valid, because the fact that price is responding to it means it's valid. I'm going somewhere. All right. So we've established the fact that this is a bullish market, and then the trend lines are valid. Now, what is price doing? What can we see? Like, what is it doing? All right, let me show you something quickly. I promised this video wasn't going to be long, but let's do this. Now, remember I told you about, okay, we've established the fact that this is a bullish trend. Now, let's remove trends, because it's not only your trends. It's not only trends you need to understand before you can make profit. In fact, you don't need only trends. You need to know the entirety of price action to make profit. Now, let me show you the second setup that was broken. Then after I show you the second setup that was broken, then I'll show you what price is going to do. The final thing price is going to do. All right, so look at this. This also is a trend. Remember in my previous video about trend, I told you when you can connect two dots, 2 wicks, 2 candles together on a straight line, whether it be adjacent or any kind, but so far the line is straight. When you can connect it together, then a trend has been formed. And I told you your trend should be parallel. So look at this, please. Let me make it clean. And this also has 2 connecting dots. Okay, yes, this is it. Okay, yes, this is it. This is exactly it. Okay, yes, this is it. So this is the second trend line setup that also had potential to begin the bullish momentum. How do I know that? Look at this. I told you about trends. First of all, you have this price responded to this area. Price also came down, responded to this area. So you can see that a trend line has been formed. You connect the dots together, and it did the same thing for the upper trend line. And the most important thing is that this is parallel. The trend line is parallel, and I told you your trend line has to be parallel for it to be somewhat valid. Now look at this. If the trend was like this, for instance, then you know that this is not a trend line, because it's not parallel, it's not straight. Then you know that both the upper trend line you have drawn and the lower trend line you have drawn is wrong. They are not parallel. Your trend, or a valid trend line, is parallel, except you are drawing an ascending triangle or a descending triangle. And you can't draw an ascending triangle or a descending triangle on an overall market move. No. Ascending and descending triangles are for when you want to enter the market on scalps and all that stuff, finding an entry. for the market, not for an overall market move. No, you won't find. It's not. In fact, it's not that you won't. It's not there. It's not valid. Okay, yes. So you can see our trend line. So price actually responded to it. So what happened? Price came here, responded to it, but I'm telling you, this is our second ulterior motive. I'm telling you, of setup. Price also did the same thing, but now price did the same thing here. Let me zoom in. Broke it. H4 time frame. Give me H4 time frame. As you can see. And I told you, anytime price responds to a particular area, it means that something is going on there, or something is valid. So as you can see, price actually responded to this area. It was ranging for a while, meaning that there was high chances that the buy could have actually started from here. Can you see? So it was ranging for a while. Price was deciding. It was negotiating. Remember I told you in the previous video, there are three things always occur in the market. Price is either buying, you are either selling, or you are negotiating. If you go to a physical market, those who are there are either the buyers, or those who are selling, the sellers, or those who are negotiating whether they want to buy, or those who are negotiating whether they want to sell to you. But when you've come to a decision, whether as in a negotiating phase, there's a buyer or a seller, then you can say there's a breakout. So during the negotiation, if you see it on H1, you can see it here clearly on H1. Let me draw the box. So price was negotiating here. So during the negotiating phase, you will know that when there is a breakout, then price has concluded on what he wants to do. So the breakout here was actually a sell. So price broke out and sold. As you can see all the way down, it broke out and sold. Now, let's go back to what we're saying. It just shows that price could have actually broken out also and bought, and the buy would have actually begun from there. Why? Because the trend line on it is also valid. So both the first one I drew and this second one is valid. So you need to have the eyes of an eagle to know how to spot trends. You might have drawn a particular trend which is correct, but in that same particular trend you have drawn, there's also another trend that is also correct that you are missing out. I don't know if you get what I said. That's why I usually say do not underestimate the trend. People just talk about trends, and just draw 1 or 2 lines and think that's all the trend you can see. No. On a particular market pattern, you can spot at least 3 or 2 correct trends. You just need to train your eyes and know how to read charts like an eagle. And so price could have bought yesterday night from this zone massively and the buy would have begun, but no, it still went down and then broke it. Now, where is price going to? I need to end this video. I don't want to take my time. Now look at this. On a weekly time frame, look at this. We are going to establish the fact that price has broken the trend line, but since we're expecting a bullish move, though I'm going to show you what will happen if it goes bearish, but if we're expecting a bullish move and all our trends have been broken, what next are we going to look for? This is it. Look for the major support zones where price will gather liquidity and create demand. If you need to write that down, you can write it down any time. Look for the major support zones where price will gather liquidity, smart money concept, remember, and create demand. And so let's do this. Check this out. remember the concept of the new W1 momentum. You guys just watch something. And so we have established the fact that this is our resistance. This is the overall market resistance. This is where price has gone to the highest high over time. So we have our resistance and we have our major support. And why is it our major support? Because price created a trend, broke the trend in this place. This was the initial trend here. But when price broke it on this point and created two double bottom here, we know that this is a major support. So our major support is established on this double bottom here, and also on this zone, this market zone of resistance, and then this market zone also of resistance. It's an area. So our major support is established on the fact that there's a double bottom here, there's a resistance here, and there's a resistance here. A previous resistance, and a double bottom. So we can establish the fact that this is our major support. I remember what I told you about the new W1 momentum, that price likes to rally around, waste time until it's ready to kickstart the week with a new momentum. So price is likely to actually continue falling throughout this week until Saturday. Then on Sunday, you can either have the beginning of a most fortunate trade you can ever take in your life, or you can either have a change of market direction. Watch out for part 2 on where to enter and what to look out for if price is going to have a change of market direction for a bearish market, as it did with volatility 51S index, or is going to begin its bullish momentum move that we are all waiting for. In the part 2 of this video, I'm going to talk to you about what to look out for as your confirmations that you will enter this move and make the most out of this trade. This is the final setup that will guide your entry, whether it be for a sell or for a buy. On the lower time frame, you will see clearly what to look out for before you enter. You cannot just, because it's a weekly time frame, you cannot just, when price gets to this area, buy or sell. Especially if you have a small account, you will lose it because it's volatile. But you can get a sniper entry on a small minutes time frame, and that's what I'll be showing to you. In fact, those who are in my VIP channel, if you're not in my VIP channel, send me a message so you don't miss this. This will happen in the coming weeks or days. I'm going to give them the VIP channel for free. In fact, those who are mentoring don't have any problem. If I'm mentoring you, if you fit for mentorship at any point in time with me, just send me a message. If it likes, let it be last year, I don't care. Just send me a message. I don't want you to miss this. Like I told you, your profit is my priority. So I do not want you to miss it. So those who are mentoring, those who are in my VIP, do not have any problem. But as for others, you can also send me a message. Let's see how I can help you make the most out of this trade. Remember, there is unlimited potential in their synthetic indices. Good morning and have a lovely day. Thank you.